Okay. Yeah, environmental references. I wanted everything to look magical, like from the children's storybook and detailed. I was planning the scenes, and here are the experiments I made. The first variant of the frogs I tried to animate. I also took part in game jam, which gave me opportunity to try my art style very fast and like have some progress on the actual work. Here is the production of wizards and witches and some environmental screenshots of my work. I use a lot of hand painted textures as well as shaders. Shaders I try not to overuse, but they give me a really good opportunity to quickly test out colors and light. I use some projection techniques as well, but not as much as grease pencil. And grease pencil was also a challenge. It was a new tool for me, but I realized it gives really cool looks, very new and interesting, very fresh. The main problem was to rig it, to make moves with the character, not to animate on every frame, but it was easy to do in Blender. I actually just painted and rigged the sketches to the bones, so they moved along with minor adjustments. I even painted some backgrounds with grease pencil, just because it was so much easier than bringing it to Photoshop and back. Vegetation is also just planes to optimize the work. And post-production also very easy, just glow, like a bloom or glow to show the coziness of everything, and vignette to like hide something which can be in the darkness of the forests and environments. And the music, I really love it. It's from Totomori, open source author who makes music for games and sounds really like both Lord of the Rings and Ghibli. So I was really inspired by that my work could sound like my favorite films. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Great, great. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, maybe the external evaluator might have any have questions.
Should I look here in the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll close this. Okay. Dongjae Kim.
Yeah. I kind of love the color concept. It has a very strong stylized feel with hand painting, like line work. I mean, it might have to get like support from animators to give like the project more like a polished look, but looks amazing. It
Sorry,
looks good.
Dongjae Kim, can you turn up your volume a bit more because it's kind of hard to hear your voice.
Okay. I think this is a pretty, yeah, I can, but this is
여기 수박
maximum.
최대예요, 최대.
Yeah, for me, this is maximum though. I can speak loudly for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can shout, in my room. Yeah. I mean, I love it. I love the concept. I love everything. Like animators can be improved, but I know that's you're not experted. But still, you can ask your friend like who's the animators and make it look more polished. Um, Again, like I mean, this project is also like too big for one person. I saw you're the only one in the project, so it's a little bit challenging without any people. So maybe next time you gather more people and work together, that will save more time and R&D because you study yourself and sometimes you have some troubleshooting and you don't have uh, people to ask. I mean, luckily you have like a professor around you. You can ask, but still, I mean. Yeah, I mean, also gathering reference is really good. I can see what your direction is. Um, the magical details in the shots are lovely, and the story doesn't need to be complicated. It can be just a simple, simple shot can feel strong, if they are executed with quality. Yeah, I also appreciate that you're challenging yourself by adapting new tools like greasy lines. I never heard about it, but it's pretty challenging. I mean, as a student, like don't be afraid to keep learning yourself and trying new things. I mean, this is great. Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jongji Kim.
Yep, no worries.
Okay, next. Yeah, Bulat. Yeah, Golden Four.
First. Chrome.
Go.
Chrome Explorer. And
Let's see. Yeah, you can just type it.
Okay, everyone, hello. So today I'll present our final, and for those who haven't seen it, we made a little preview because our actual final is 7 minutes long. So this is just a trailer for what the actual thing is. And I can introduce you my team. So Gabia is our character artist, and she also did the mocap acting for the most part. And Murad, also she did sound design, and Murad is the technical artist and the environment artist, and most of the troubleshooting, which we had to do a lot of, was done by him also. And I was also the environment artist, as well as I did some VFX that we had in the phone. So the basic idea of it is that the sun in the world has become deadly.
Sorry, I just want to see if it's sharing the screen. How can I close it?
hey. Yeah, this one. This one.
Oh yeah, that one.
Reclaim like in court. You're reclaiming my time. Chrome.
So yeah, the sun. Oh,
Oh, nothing. Can't see. Yeah.
okay. The sun turns people into gold, and you have to have a very specific technology to protect yourself from it. But there's also a society that banishes people for using it, or if someone is found using it, kills them. So that's the basic premise. And I'll talk about the materials that I did because that's the most interesting part, I guess.
It's the monster
Yeah.
buildings.
Yeah, something.
You're cheap.
You can see what you have present. Oh.
Amazing. Right, let's go. Like in court, we're gonna reclaim our time.
Okay, so yeah, the first kind of special effect we had was the cloth when it is hit by the sun, it has to dissolve. So that is the material I made, and it's just driven by the alpha of it. Then the next one was the skin in the sun has to turn to gold. So I used the material function and integrated it into the base material. And the people who walk in the sun, they have to have the shield. So that is the transparent material used as an overlay. And the most important was for these parameters to be keyable and for all the properties to be adjustable so we could like art direct it. And that is what I focused when doing these materials. Now to my friend.
So why MetaHuman? It already has full characteristic because none of us are riggers, so we decided to go this way, and they already had made here systems, so for us we needed it for simulation. So slide. I made the cloth. So first of all, I made concept research, analyzed real world sewing patterns, and then it went to adaptation for virtual clothing production. The hardest part was proportions adjustment and fold and stretching corrections. So even I called on my family member who is a sewer and asked for advice how to make fit it. And yeah, so it was kind of challenging. Next slide, and you can see all the characters here I made. So it was 10 of them. and face wrapping. So it was new in my experience, and so I did face points to align the metahuman face on the scan, 3D scan. And then I made refinement of eyes and lips because it wasn't correct after wrapping. And the hardest part is to align the neck to the chest part because we're using metahuman base and the scanned neck is kind of different. So this is the challenges I faced. So here's all the faces.
This is the storyboard we were looking at a few months ago, in January. We were looking at over 100 shots, nearly 10 minutes of runtime. After carefully reviewing our story, we only managed to get it down to 6.7 minutes and 71 shots. For a team of 3 students, this is an insanely large amount of work. So how did we do it? The answer is this environment. It didn't make it to the final project. We created an entire environment throughout one semester to solve every single one of our production challenges, get to the final stage, and not be surprised when we are making our next environments. What I want you to pay attention in the 8 environments is they are completely unique. There is little to no resources that we could reuse between them. And the way we managed to create them so quickly is this lean workflow where we were making these decisions on what is important and what is not. From the base to the blockout, it's 6 months of planning to get everything right. But from the blockout to the final, it is 3 days of production. And this was consistent among all of the environments. The next challenge is getting the mocap right. The devil of the mocap is drift. Fundamentally, there's a difference between what your character is doing and what your digital character is doing. And you have to close that gap to capture the gesture, to capture their acting. And the key to that is getting extreme refinement in both softwares. And we hit a point where it was so accurate that the anatomical differences between our characters were making a difference. This is the skeleton for Oshra, Gabia, and Paulina. And you can see their biological bone length had to be adjusted for to get an excellent result. Go back. And you can see it's night and day. The difference between just getting a character moving on the screen, getting at mocap data, versus capturing their gesture and their intent. And the difference is completely different. In regards to cloth simulation, fundamentally, it is very simple. It's the process of taking an animated character, putting a piece of clothing on it, and letting the simulation run. In practice, when you have 9,000 frames, you are looking at an only 3 millimeter difference between the skin and the cloth, or else it will either clip through or it will create shadows. Your solution is to have cloth simulation mindset built into your pipeline from day one. From our design to the final step, we knew these characters were going to accept cloth simulation. That's how we managed to create so many of them, and that's how it was so consistent. The last breakthrough was understanding on how we can merge these alembic meshes to reduce these file sizes. So between the shots, you can see the gaps where they are sort of warm-up frames where the character is slowly moving from one shot to the other, where the cloth is staying with the character. But the downside of assembling everything in Unreal is the sequencer gets insanely complicated. You're looking at root transforms, character transforms, keying for everything, including the information for the cameras. Luckily, thanks to Unreal Engine optimization, this is still workable, but it requires a complete understanding of the sequencer. I would like to finish this off with the environment that we put the most amount of love to, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation as much as we enjoyed making this project.
Okay, thank you.
Questions coming.
Yeah. Yeah, Jongjik.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, good job, guys. It's I see that's a challenge. It's a massive project for you guys to do like three people, right? It's three people, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is like 10 characters and 7 environment. That's how that, right?
Yeah, 8
It's,
plus 1 test. So it's like total of 9. Actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all unique.
That's a crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's amazing that you guys taking the challenge. You know, the length of the video film is like 7 minutes. It's like a massive project. Yeah, I mean, I see the materials are quite unique, and you have add like parameters in on your engine. Also, you guys clearly figure out like on your engine pipeline. Well done. There's a multiple, like I'm pretty sure there are a lot of trouble, and you guys troubleshooting
Yeah.
has been done. Yeah, but by I'm saying that the number we shot is quite high, and that the schedule may be very tight for team of three. So it might be stronger if you guys like making it shorter and then focus on more the key moments. Like I see some of the like key shot you guys thought about it, right? Maybe you guys make it focus on those area. Then the film, will be more detail oriented. But overall, it's pretty challenging. You guys learn the new pipeline and mocap, and then clean up materials and on your engine. Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, next is the gravity of the past. I have the video. Yeah. The video is here. And please put it here into the screen.
Okay. 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 So, our team prepared the project, The Gravity of the Past. So the main focus was to create a, a video which will convey emotions and the storytelling rather than just be a simple entertaining video, because rather now in the film industry, in the game industry and stuff like that, people are more concentrated on, I would say, money and just producing the more the better, but the quality and the ideas are left behind because no one wants to invest into them. So we had an interesting pipeline of workflow. It was quite challenging because we had to combine a lot of different applications, and we started in Maya with rigging and animation. Then we had to export it into Blender. We used Alembic files to create the animation, Alembic cache files, and Marvelous Designer was used for the clothing, Substance for texture, and stuff like that. So the main issue we were working on was implementing the Houdini part.
Yeah, so VDB Smoke was simulated and cached inside of Houdini, and then imported into Blender, of course, as like a volumetric object. Then I make like a custom volumetric shader that was used like to control its appearance,
Documents to show.
density, and interaction with light.
So we decided to make it like this.
And so with that, we want to show the final work we have so that you can understand why it's called the gravity of the past.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So this was the project, and I would like to hear any feedback or questions if you have for it.
종직?
Yeah, yeah. It looks good. I mean, in terms of like a length, like well balanced compared to um among the project, because you guys have like it's a short but it's a simple message, and then has a, like a clear message, I guess, and then doesn't you guys don't make any complication, which I like it. Also, like texturing on the like a rocket, that looks good, and then the lighting is pretty well balanced. It doesn't really pop, doesn't look odd much. Yeah, again, like animation could be improved by animators. Like I see, like some of like wrist is like bending like this.
Yeah, but it was the problem that we didn't have the dedicated animators, so we're all
Yeah,
modelers
yeah,
and riggers, so we had to like compromise with the other production parts. So we tried to invest what we could do best, so it will
yeah,
look like stand out and cover our like mistakes we made.
yeah. Like a minimal resource you have to use, and you have to finish the project. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. For caveat that you can like avoid a little bit, like you can just move like a camera movement or kind of cheat. But overall looks quality wise it looks good. Like color wise it looks well maintained, well balanced. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, 종직. Okay, the
No worries.
next is the horse and the infant.
Okay, so today we will be presenting our graduation project, and the name of the project is The Horse and the Infant. So shortly about our team, you can see Victoria. She was responsible for our technical support, our rigger, our animator. Paulina, she was responsible mainly for environmental modeling and 2D. I'm responsible for character creation and texturing, and Carolina responsible for environmental textures and lighting and overall look development. Pre-production.
Yes, we'll start with the pre-production. So how did everything start? We were inspired by the musical project created by Jorge Rivera Hirons, which in turn was inspired by the literature piece called The Odyssey by Homer. Since we listened to the song a lot last year, we thought that it would be an amazing opportunity to animate one of the songs from this amazing musical. And so it happens we created the animation for the first song of the musical called The Horse and the Infant. So what happens in our animation, I'll tell quickly, is in the middle of the night, our main character, Odysseus, together with his Greek soldiers, is waiting to ambush everyone in the kingdom of Troy and finish this long forsaken war. And of course, as you know, the Greeks successfully fooled everyone in Troy and began this final battle. While fighting, Odysseus meets Zeus, an Olympian god, who explains he has to fight one last enemy and finish this final battle, which happens to be the sole heir of this now fallen kingdom. And the rest of the song explains what happens in this fateful meeting. This is our first sketches, the first concepts. And yeah, and this is the storyboard that will be the blueprint and has been the blueprint of our whole project.
And now moving on to production. The first step is character modeling, and all characters were modeled in ZBrush, but skirts and cloths were made in Marvelous Designer. Later on, they were exported to Maya, and so the mouths were made and they were topologized. The textures were made in Substance Painter, and since we took inspiration from the game Hades, they have a little bit of a hand-painted texturing. And this is main characters. As well, we had 3 character models, 2 for each main characters, and 1 for all the side characters with interchangeable cosmetics to make them appear different. And moving on to the backgrounds were all modeled in Maya, but later on transferred to Unreal Engine, and they were textured in Substance Painter as well. For rigging and animation, for rigging, we mainly used the advanced skeleton with some additional rigs for bows and arrows and other similar things. And the animation was made in Maya and later on transferred to Unreal Engine using Alembic files and Professor Song script. We had some problems, but we solved them. And now moving on to lighting and rendering, it was made in Unreal Engine. We chose Unreal Engine because of the possibilities with FX. For example, fire that was necessary for our scene, as well it had better possibilities in lighting, like the dynamic sky and similar things as well. The quick render time was a huge plus for that. For the post-production, editing was done in DaVinci Resolve. We didn't do much editing for sound because we already had pre-made soundtrack. And this is the poster, which is the render from our final project. And that's it. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Good job. I mean, yeah. Again, this project is challenging one as I see the length is pretty. You guys make like a video every time. It's like the length is pretty long. Yeah, I kind of like the style, like hand painting for the each characters, which is good. But again, it could be just one or few characters. I see like some battles in the Colosseum, battle area. So there are multiple characters. I don't know how you guys handle that one. Yeah, it's amazing job. Good job. And then like again, animation could be give a animation could give a little bit more live feeling over like characters, but I guess you guys don't have a resource then understand. Yeah, and then figuring out Onion Engine pipeline is good too, and also like you guys like Professor Song wrote the script for like a Maya to Onion Engine, right? Like Alembic 5. Yeah, which you by using the custom tool which is really good benefits for the project and learning experience. Yeah, well done, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next is Tennis for a Pass. Okay. First, you put that to that screen.
All right, good morning, everybody. We are Team Warupada, and we are the lovely, hardworking creators of Pennies for a Past. Our team consists of me, Afa Valenti, Teresia, Agatha, and Tiffany.
So starting off, we're going to explain about our pre-production stage. We first came up with our stories on storytelling class where we combine each of our members' ideas into one, which consists of a story idea about a shop that sells memories and a heartwarming story about a father and daughter. And we combined, and thus our story was born. Our story takes place in a city in Indonesia, which can be seen by the environment, which the street is heavily inspired by the Tunjungan Street in the 2010s. And the shop interior is also inspired by a 90s Orientalist Indonesian interior. For our initial character design and model, each one of us contributed and make each character design. Tiffany is in charge of child Micah, Alpha with adult Micah, me with Micah's father, and Agatha with the shopkeeper. And such to make the character look like one art style, our main rigger Tiffany recreated mine and Agatha's model, and Alpha also did some fixer-ups for her adult Micah model.
Okay, the next is the production step. So for the modeling, I handled the outdoor environment modeling, and Teresia handled the indoor environment modeling, while Tiffany and Ava handled the character modeling. And the character was mainly rigged by Tiffany. And then all of the members are also involved in the animating step. But the 3D animation scenes were mainly handled by me and Teresia, and the 2D animation scenes was mainly handled by Alpha. And actually, the production step took most of our time because of some technical issue, especially with the rigging and the animating part.
And once everything was settled, everything was finished, or at least as finished as we would hope for it to be, we all compiled it, we all rendered it, and then it was up to me to do the editing and the compositing for the about 13 shots that we had. 13, but quite lengthy, quite hefty shots. Pre-production was done with the help of Adobe Premiere Pro for the editing, After Effects for compositing, as I also used it for color grading and for color correction and some very minor light effects, such as the flickering when the store is revealed to Micah. And after that, Teresia did the sound design and sound editing in Ableton before moving it back to like your editing software. I also did the little small opening sequence with the page of the poster lying by the screen. And yeah, just like that, we were able to top our pennies for a pass parfait with a cherry of completion.
So the problem we face along the way, most of them actually stems from the fact that we made a lot of this stuff from the previous semester. And in the previous semester, of course, we were still learning about stuff here and there. And so like when during our production phase, we have to fix a lot of stuff from the last semester, like rigging, modeling, etc., etc. And that takes a lot of our time rather than like making it from the scratch because the base is already there and we still have to fix it. And our second biggest problem is importing the Maya to Unreal because none of us are actually experienced in that department, especially moving the animation, moving the model and stuff. So there's a lot of troubleshooting and a lot of stuff that we have to fix. And yeah, initially we use like a program given to us, but that doesn't work out well. So we learn a bunch of other stuff and mixing and matching the methods, and finally we actually successfully imported it to Unreal. We use Unreal because Unreal have better post-processing, lightings, and VFX and all of that. And yeah, we're glad how it looked.
Without further ado, this is Pennies for a Pass.
Okay. Jongjae?
Yeah. Again, yeah. I mean, the video could be shorter to allow the simple story rather than too many complicated shots. However, the lighting looks good, and then it has atmosphere with a nice balanced warm and color and tones. And in setting up the color tone is essential in lighting in the scene. It gives the mood and feeling. Yeah, you guys handle that well. And also like the documentation you guys created. It shows clear and detailed steps, and then like how the project made it, and overall it is a well-maintained project, well-planned project. And then I mean I can see you guys are organized and plan ahead effectively before the production start. And then for environment, it could focus on just one small area rather than just a big one, but still looks good. It just need I mean you guys don't have to like work on the multiple shot and the complicated shot like story. Like for instance, the hand to hand, like you guys just skip it and just showing up the environment, just walking, maybe that's it. The simple story will be better sometimes. I mean the the opening introduction is pretty good. As like I see the postcard design and the on the wall looks great and well designed. I guess you guys have someone who's on the team has a strong drawing skills. I can see that. And then colors. Well done, guys. Keep going and keep develop.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next is Luma. 예? 예. 제가 안에
Good morning, dear friends and professor. We are here to present our short film, Luma. A brief introduction. I guess we split our work equally, although upon consideration, looking at the time limit, we decided to split me and Laura being the lead animator and Evelyn being the lead environment and texture artist. So our main struggle, I would say, was importing the animation to Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is a bit more sensitive to weight paint errors, so we had to go back and forth through with it. And our mesh was also very sensitive to certain angles of light. For some reason, the material did not appear as perfectly as we hoped. So we had to really experiment on that aspect. And as for sound design and music, we wanted to focus more on the music as our story progressed through different emotions at a given short period of time. We wanted the audience to have a very smooth experience as the story flows by. Add something? So we're going to present Luma. I hope you enjoy.
Papa?
Huh?
Yeah, good job. Yeah, I saw the poster. Poster, it looks good. That has like all the elements like lighting and colors. I mean, the first shot looks good, and I mean, rendering is quite clean, so which I like it. I mean, I could see more of the quality in the other other shots as well as the first shot is good, and I want to see like continuity, like stability. But somehow sometimes it broke the quality in some shot. However, there are too many shots that I guess and too much story overall. So I think that's kind of like a challenging for you guys. And then when you're working on it, you don't need to show everything. Maybe use camera more like smart way. Like you focus on one close-up area, and so you don't have to worry about the other areas outside of the frame. And then I see like three environments are for a small team will be very challenging because three environment means double like triple times the work. So it could be better be just simplify and focus on one quality over the quantity. I see you guys want to set up like different environment as like the girl is a dreaming in dreaming area. That could be just a simple and simple abstract environment like such as like just painting, I don't know, some like fantasy area. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be like room. It could be just one toy and just put it there. So that will save you guys production time and effort and focus on more details. But overall, I mean, that said, it's a well balanced project overall. So yeah, good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Next is Jackpot. Yours are here. You just put it
I'm
here.
going to present in Canva.
Canva, yeah.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Brandon, and Jackpot is my short animated film. So before we start, let's watch the video. It doesn't have any sound. No, I think the sound is too small. Maybe. Is it because I'm playing Chrome?
That's why. Is there any way to increase the sound here?
Right. That's okay. Okay, so Jackpot. The idea came from a childhood memory I had. And the style, I went with a Pixar styled look because it's known to be popular and mass appealing. And especially because I wanted the character's emotional crash out to be more playful, comedic, instead of miserable. So production, the character, as I've said, it's inspired by a Pixar with exaggerated eyes and expressive fingers. It was made in Maya, and it was textured using Substance and Unreal combined. Next, the rigging was done in Maya using Advanced Skeleton. The environment. So the environment was inspired by this garage. I looked at the internet. I love the bricks, the brick texture of it. And as for the neon lights, I didn't quite remember, but I had a faint memory of watching a Netflix film, and the setting was in a 80s American diner. So texturing, it's the same as the character. I used Substance Painter for the bricks and used Unreal Engine 5's Material Instance to save time. The slot machine. So the slot machine was inspired by blending two types of slot machine. The first one was a classic, more of a mechanical look, and a digital look. The visual inspiration for the graphics was from a diamond slot machine from a game called Grand Theft Auto 5. It was 100% modeled and UV mapped inside Maya. As for the graphics, I made it in Canva, and to map it onto my UVs, I used Substance Painter. Apart from that, all the metals, the painted textures, I used my so semester one, we made a custom automotive material, and I just basically used that and edited a lot of the parameters to match my look. The animation was all done in Maya and exported into Unreal. So lighting and rendering. The part I loved the most was lighting and rendering. As you can see, I enjoyed making the lighting, especially using the lighting to make those expressive moves really pop. And as for the camera configuration, I utilized my experience in videography. So in videography, there's a theory that basically says that your shutter speed is must be twice your FPS to achieve that natural motion blur look. And as you can see from the scenes, I used a lot of whooshy camera movements, and especially for the drum in a slot machine. It spun really fast, so I needed to get that motion blur correctly. So post-production, all the editing was made, all the editing and sound design was recorded in Premiere Pro and in my room. So this is my festival submission. And so before I end the presentation, I wanted to talk about my challenges. So the biggest challenge I had was losing a lot of my files on May 21st. So basically, since then, I've been working so hard to rebuild and just make it all from basically scratch. And the second challenge I had was exporting into Unreal Engine. So the main problem during exporting was that my model, the body mesh alone, not the clothes, not the shirt, not the pants, was 10 times smaller than everything. So it's basically just, it was basically invisible. So I was troubleshooting it. I searched up Google, and it turns out it was my export settings, and that turned out to fix it. And I think that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Yeah, great job. I mean, I was wondering, like, jackpot or titles was like, what is it? That was a casino. First of all, I like the camera, the perspective you use, like like a variety of angles. So I like that. Sometimes a close up, sometimes a wide, sometimes a middle shot, top shot. Yeah, that's the various of the angle. I love it. I mean, the sound design and animation are strong, and then you are kind of well matching, and then the rendering looks good as well. Um, yeah, sometimes like the guy who make the sound, like it sounds like a dog or bear, make a growl sound. That's kind of funny, but yeah, yeah. And then yeah, it's a simple story with a clear message, and it could work, well, even if it's, if it was shorter, again. But the hand gesture you are animating, that's well done. And then the character modeling and concept animation looks solid. And I mean, it's done by one person, you, right?
Yes.
Oh man, that's a challenge. Even this is small project, like short and simple, still require a lot of work because it's you have to modeling, animating, rigging, and setting up the pipeline, decide the character concept, setting up the environment, gathering reference. It requires a lot of time. So maybe next time you gather your friends and maybe two people, three people can work for your expertise, like animation. I want to be animator, then you focus on animators, and the modeler focus on modelers. So that way you guys, have like a strong piece at the end. I also like that you use like multiple tools such as like Canva, Unreal Engine, and Maya. And then I see like that there's a motion blur, which is great. You study a lot to get that details, which is very solid work. Add like a polish of details. Also, the color choice is strong with purple dominating in the scene in a nice way. So yeah, well done. Good job. Yeah, great job.
Okay, thank you, Jungsik. Next,
No.
next one up. I just want to double check if this is recording. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to put your work here to screen.
Well, before I start with the presentation, I'm going to show you the video first, and then I'm going to talk about it afterwards. So my project is titled One Us, and it is made in collaboration with the game development major. So the end of the story will be told inside of the game itself. So now for references, I chose a lot of references from Bluey, Tinkerbell, and a few songs. Also, my references, I wanted to look bright, colorful, but a little bit cozy. The main character, her name is Lumi. She's supposed to be made out of clay/wood, but I ended up using more of a clay texture. And this is the storyboard. And for production, the modelings are done 100% in Maya. I didn't use ZBrush for the character nor the environment, so everything is in Maya. And textures are done in Substance Painter's Clip Studio Paint and Coral Draw for some of the opacity masks. And then the lighting and rendering are done in Unreal Engine. So for the character, the rig, I use advanced skeleton for the body rig, but for the facial, the hats, the wings, the accessories, custom rigged it. And that was becoming the main concern when I was putting it inside of Unreal Engine, because the eyes, as you can see, my character doesn't have any eyelids. It's basically just a sphere that's squished and stretched for blinking. And that became a problem in Unreal because of the rig. And then I focus more on her body language more than her facial expression to show her expressions. And these are some shots for lighting and rendering in Unreal. And post-production, editing is done 100% in DaVinci Resolve, both for the video editing and the sound editing. And this is the final poster and festival submission. And that's it for my project. Thank you.
Cool. So this is a one person did it, right? Or
This is one person.
okay. Yeah. So a lot of challenge. You guys love the challenge, I guess. Yeah. Overall looks amazing as a one person did it, like everything from like a model, from a concept to finish. The one thing I when I just look up the images, the texturing could be improved, as I noticed some texture resolution issues. So that way you could use just higher resolution of a texture map, or just make the texture more like tireable, like repetitive, where it is appropriate. I mean, but I like this the project, like simple and like clear, that you're showing the just one environment and just one characters, which is like a best setup. Yeah, I can see like you work across many areas, including modeling, texturing, environment design, like storyboarding, and overall design and editing and sound. I mean, that's too many work for the one person. So again, make a team, or just even like small projects, smaller than this project will be better if you want to make a portfolio. The lighting could be improved by creating a better balance, in the values. So sometimes, like, the bright area is too bright, so you can make a tone down, while some of the darker area is too dark, it's pitchy dark. You don't want that, so you can lift a little bit to improve, so that you have a more readability and visual balance. But one person did this one is amazing, and yeah, great job.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next, finally, the final last one, the fight.
So I'm gonna introduce my graduation film, The Fight. And with this project, I was largely inspired by for animation works that combine 3D and 2D styles. So in particular, in Kane, Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, the Puss in Boots Last Wish. So through this film, I wanted to experiment and maybe get closer to the style and kind of find my own. And I also wanted to challenge myself in terms of animation. So that's why my choice fell on a fight scene. Overall, I think with this film, the goal was to create something short, but visually striking, animation and aesthetics wise. So I invite you to take a look. So when designing the story and the characters, there was a lot of thought about how to make it more interesting and engaging. And I've analyzed multiple fights from the works that I like. And my choice was to organize the fight around a four-part East Asian story structure. Most widely known by the name Kishotanketsu, and I hope if you analyze my work, you can see that. As for the characters, I decided to make them seem opposites in design, color, and fight styles. So, for example, my first character, she has like a hot-headed, this is a mood board, hot-headed, rebellious kind of character, and I wanted to represent that by referencing punk culture. Overall, this is the concept art. Overall, if you look with all the details, I think she looks kind of like rough, which opposes my second character, Ray. With her, I wanted to represent, show purity and danger at the same time. Her clothing is minimal to kind of signify a stoic simplicity, and her long hair makes the silhouette flowing and light. And overall, I think opposing designs of the characters make the clash between them more interesting. For the environment, I chose to make a subway car interior. I think the narrow, confined environment of a train car provides a good guideline for a fight, and this choice was largely inspired by the famous hallway fight scene from the 2003 Korean film Old Boy. As for the mood, I wanted to convey a sense of riding a train at night, as well as provide more dark atmosphere for the fight. Therefore, I chose for the lighting to be darker than one would usually see in a subway car. In this work, I experimented with the textures to achieve a more painterly look, both procedurally and by painting some details manually. Most of the work is done by a shader that I made. What it does, it uses a Voronoi texture and a brush stroke texture to modify the normals of the objects. So that creates sort of this painterly brush stroke look that also reacts to light. For some parts, especially the characters, I did paint the details manually in Substance Painter. because some parts, especially the face, require more attention to detail and more like a curated approach. The project was rigged, animated, lighted, and rendered in Blender. Lastly, after the render was done, I went into my animation software, and for some parts, I added VFX on top, like sparks from two like metal objects colliding, and this big slash at the end. So I just drew that on top, frame by frame. That's it. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. First of all, I like that you challenge yourself. Animating focus on project. The concept works well because it is a center around like single environment, and the two main characters engage in fight, which is very simple, but at the same time is an interesting atmosphere and interesting concept. I mean. Yeah, I also like the character design. They feel very unique and very distinctive and separated, like from the world. And the texturing and overall visual style you're aiming for are strong, and help establish the project's identity. It's like very stand out among the other projects in terms of style and the color and everything. The animation could be a little bit smoother, and that will benefit for a project such as like a weight and balance, the character movement. I hope I can see more, like if you speed up and you speed down some area, and then the weight, the character is the weight that you want to see. That will be nicer. To enhance the sense of the speed of impact, you need to consider the using more dynamic camera movement rather than just a wide shot. You can just maybe make a close-up shots are especially important, so as they can make the action feel faster. Like if you look at your hands in very close up and approaching your eyes is like a fast rather than you see like a far away is very slow. So using camera is essential for animation for like this kind of project. For lighting, the continuity is very key, very important. So because it helps like connect the shot to shot seamlessly and maintain visual consistency throughout the sequence. So this is the area that could be maybe improved later. Like this shot like have like a purple background and then the orange key light. Then next shot should be matchy, right? Otherwise it's kind of breaking the consistency. So yeah, but the overall like the color, the purple and orange like palette works very well and create this strong visual contrast. So yeah, well done and good job.
Thank you.
Okay, before we wrap up, I just want to show the one missing animation that we didn't show, the horse and the infant team. Okay, so and then complete the final, the presentation. Okay.
Alright, my brothers, listen closely. Tonight we make the Trojans pay. 10 years of war, they killed us slowly, but now we'll be the ones who slay. Think of your wives and your children. Your families wonder where you've been. They're growing old and yet you're still here. Do what I say and you'll see them again.
Yes, sir!
Diomedes will lead the charge. Agamemnon will flank the guards. Menelaus will let our mates through the gates to take the whole city at large. Teucer will shoot any ambush attacking. Little Ajax will stay back. Nestor, secure Helen and protect her. Neo, avenge your father, kill the brothers of Hector.
Yes, sir!
Find that inner strength now. Use that well of pride. Fight through every pain now. Ask yourself inside, what do you live for? What do you try for? What do you wish for? What do you fight for?
What do you live for? What do you try for? What do you wish for? What do you fight for?
Penelope, Penelope, and Telemachus. I fight for us. I fight for us.
What do you live for?
Penelope.
What do you try for?
Telemachus.
What do you wish for?
I'm on my way.
What do you fight for?
Attack! Who was that?
A vision of what is to come cannot be outrun, can only be dealt with right here and now.
Tell me how.
I don't think you're ready. A mission to kill someone's son, a foe who won't run, unlike anyone you have faced before.
Say no more. I know that I'm ready.
I don't think you're ready.
It's just an infant. It's just a boy. What sort of imminent threat does he pose that I cannot avoid?
This is the son of none other than Troy's very own Prince Hector. Know that he will grow from a boy to an avenger, one fumed with rage as you're consumed by age. If you don't end it now, you'll have no one left to save. You can say goodbye to Penelope. You can say goodbye to Penelope.
I could raise him as my own, or send him far away. Make sure his past is never known. I'd rather bleed for ya, down on my knees for ya. I'm begging, please.
Will of the gods.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
The blood on your hands is something you won't lose. All you can choose is whose.
Okay. Okay, so now let's wrap up the presentation. I really thank you, Pongjik, to share your time today. Okay, and everyone here really did a hard work for completing their work. Of course, there are many parts that you are unsatisfied with the work. You could have done better, but there's nothing that is always completed. Okay, everything has to be continued afterwards. So I hope you can move on after this. And this is not the end. Actually, we have closing ceremony and digital art show starting from next tomorrow. Yeah. So and I'll announce and I'll inform anything from group to group chat. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
Everybody,